Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of series 1 of the Captain James Bollinger with Miss Meadows podcast. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a terrific Easter break and all the rest of it. We're just reporting back as to what we've been up to lately. Help me, darling.
Yeah, I can't remember actually what we've done. I've got a blank.
Oh, well, there was Rye Heritage Centre, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That was good.
Good on Good Friday, so that was brilliant. Supporting a great local charity.
Yeah. Preserving history.
Preserving history. Yeah. Great place to visit if you're in the area.
The Smuggler's Attic.
Yep, that's now open. So yeah, you could check it out. The town model has been updated. So
Yes.
we've got a new show to go with that. So yeah, it's definitely worth a visit. Plus all the other amazing things in Rye, which are really interesting.
Yes, it is.
Citadel, lovely, love it.
Yes. Bit of a tip: if you're coming by car, get a car parking ticket. The electronic payment by card. It's for 24 hours, £5, and it's on the A259 as you come in to the town from Hastings.
Yeah, so just avoids coming into the ring road and getting caught up. There's limited parking actually inside, isn't there?
They're very limited, very old town, so you're a bit stuck. Other than that, I mean, what you could do, listeners, is get the number 100 bus outside the Old Town Friar at Hastings. Don't be like me and get tempted to go in there for chips all the time. You can't walk past the place. Get the bus there for £2, single fare at the moment, or you can get in on the Ashford International train via Icklesham from Hastings. Is another public way, but a most scenic route that we found just by chance.
Oh, you got lost.
It's down the A28 into Rye, and you go through Udall, Breed, Gusset Green, all these wonderfully sounding villages, and you can get to overlook the English Channel from up there, and you just come down onto the marshes. Awesome. It's terrific, isn't it?
Very awesome, yeah, I loved it.
So yes, what happened was with the Rye Heritage Centre, it was originally government funded, and the funding under the austerity measures of the British government at the time withdrew the money. So what they did, I don't know where they got this money from, but they raised some money somehow.
Did they get a lottery fund or some sort of heritage fund? I don't really know, actually. I should know.
No, well, I'm not sure, but what they've done is they refurbished the centre, and I think they've done a terrific job. And it's taken 2 years to complete, with us volunteering to do photos and films and interviews and flyering and all the rest of it in period dress, by the way. And they finally opened it on Good Friday. They've had problems getting parts from China and all sorts of things. But it's finally open. I think it looks a bit swish now, doesn't it? A bit more interactive, modern, engaging.
Just another attraction in there, because they've already got the old-fashioned penny arcade, which I adore. And some other little bits of history upstairs.
Yes, yeah.
And like you say, plus the Smuggler's Attic, which is it's not very long, but it's informative, and it's a bit of fun. It's good. It's really good.
It's only like £4.50 to get in, I think, isn't it?
It's £4.50 to see the town
model,
the model town with the new show. With because it's all computer stuff, isn't it? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, special effects.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. My ignorance or my tired brain.
No, that's all right.
As usual.
We've had a busy weekend, so we spent the rest of the day, the rest of the Good Fridays, wandering around promoting it with a group of other people that were on the project in period dress as well, and scaring some of the locals, helping people cross the road as well. And then we went to the very historic, haunted Mermaid Inn, where Russell Thorndike spent some time writing the books about Dr. Sin and the Scarecrow of Romney Marsh. Also, historically speaking, the Hawkhurst gang drank in there, amongst other things. In particular, Gabriel Tompkins, who was a corrupt. Well, he was a smuggler, first of all. He was leader of the Mayfield gang, a local Kent village up on the Weald. And he was languishing in jail when he got appointed. Well, this is the short version. He got appointed a customs officer, and he was assigned to Rye by John Collier, the Surveyor General of Hastings, and he was based there, and it all went a bit wrong and corrupt. So he ended up on the run from the authorities, and he ended up being hung for a highway robbery in the Bedfordshire area. So quite a career criminal. And he was aged 51 when he was in Rye, and he'd been shot through the arm helping someone escape from Newgate prison. Quite a character. But there'll be more about him probably on a video or a live talk coming your way soon. So yeah, the wonderful place, the Mermaid Inn. Thanks to their hospitality there, had a nice drink and a laugh and some more photos out the front. Yeah, very good. Go in there. If you can't get a room, they are expensive. But if you can't get a room,
they're not that. They're just
fully booked.
Always booked for months to come. You know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to stay there, and I can see why.
Yes.
I wouldn't stay there, but I prefer.
Why wouldn't you stay there?
I prefer an Airbnb house where I've got everything.
Yeah, no ghosts.
More room.
Well, a terrific place to visit. I really enjoy it. Having several ciders in there on Friday. Been in there before. But Rye, generally speaking, you've got Rye, Ypres Tower, Ypres Castle.
Or whatever, yeah. That's lovely as well, isn't it? Interesting place.
The pub there's
a museum.
There's a museum down the road from that. That's part of the castle.
It's just a nice place to walk around, isn't it? And explore.
Yeah, Church Square. You can climb the church tower.
That's right.
Yeah, you can do that.
And some interesting shops, that you don't get, independent places. So it's always good to support them.
Of course.
You've got and I love that pub next to the castle.
Castle Inn, I think it's called.
Is it? I don't know, but it's got such a lovely garden,
isn't it? Lovely garden. Yeah. It's a drinking pub.
Don't do food. I think they might do a ploughman's or something like that. I'm not sure.
A sausage roll or two.
Something, they've got no kitchen as such.
No. It's too
old.
I
love that garden.
Yeah.
Just nice. Got some nice memories there. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, we went there post-COVID, so it was our first real get out, wasn't it? And by the way, listeners, you can get a guided tour around Rye. The town crier
does it.
He does it, and I believe there's a guy, Medieval Roy, that does one as well.
There's a lot going on there, isn't there? It's it's just such a historical place.
Awesome.
But I would advise wearing very comfy shoes because the cobbled
trainers
streets,
or something.
Yeah, because I'm a nervous wreck going up and down those because I'm going to go arse over. You know what I mean? It's just
that's because you had period.
In any shoes, I think most of the time I wear Converse, don't I? But there you go, just waffling now.
No, it's not at all. Yeah, all relevant stuff. So
and then of course before we leave, we always pop into the lovely Jemsons.
The Jemsons supermarket apparently been going since the 1970s. I read. Would you believe?
Was it not like that? I thought it was older than that.
Oh, was it older than that?
I don't know. You need to Google that.
Oh, search that out then. Well, very good supermarket. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's the first time I discovered Biddenden Cider. And of course, their wonderful mead as well.
And the staff
always very polite.
It's the most politest place I've ever been. Supermarket, anyway.
Yeah, it's terrific. Anyway, so that was. Put my glasses on without poking me on. That was Rye Heritage. We've also had both our DNA matches back now for our heritage as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the listeners yours? Or should I go first?
You can go first.
This might be a bit. It won't be long. I won't. Be
yours is fairly obvious, isn't it?
Well, it is really. But anyone that knows me, I mean, mine came back 87% Irish, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it actually had the village and everything because I had an uncle that was a priest who started a family tree and went off and done his own research. So everything for me has come back relatively easy. I think the The other 13%, because I only got a two-way split, like Eastern European, is
Baltic,
Baltic, yeah. I mean, that's open to interpretation at the moment, isn't it? That could be anything, anywhere. There's been some suggestions of Viking, but that's not proven yet. So that was something. But what was funny when I started looking into it, and I've been driving several people bonkers around the twist with this, is two things. Is that it's quite possible that one of my ancestors was the famous Father John Murphy of what they call the 98 Wexford Rebellion, or 1798 Wexford Rebellion, which went on a few hundred years later to be the Good Friday Agreement. I mean, he was a reluctant revolutionary, but it started off in Wexford when his parishioners came to him for protection, and they saw off the local armed militia with pikes, and there's a statue in Wexford celebrating the pikemen of Wexford. He lost his life at the Battle of Vinegar Hill, I'm led to believe, aged 45, and he was one of the leaders there, obviously General Wolfetone being the main man in that action, because the British sent something like 20,000 troops to put the rebellion down. But that was I think one of the very first was the Wexford Rebellion. And there's a rebellion centre in Wexford.
But, joy! We're going to visit that.
Yeah. So the other thing, of course, is that when you start looking at these things, you start looking at legal matters. And under the 2005 Irish Ancestry Act, I'm actually an Irish citizen, technically speaking. And if I can prove ancestry, which I started to do, then I can get a passport. So
the EU,
still be in the European Union.
Fair.
So your DNA heritage is interesting, isn't it?
Very, yes. It's 91.2% English, which
don't look so disappointed.
I am disappointed, actually. But yeah, so that's for Northern England or just inside Scotland. That's where that has come from.
So maybe the Pict tribe.
Well, we know that some of my families, the Kays and the Coes, all come. It's a northern name, so we know the Kays is a Norman family, and we know that Coe comes from is derived from crow, the sound a crow makes. So there's some that's where it goes back to. I'm 3.2% Baltic, 3.2% Ashkenazi Jew, and
drum roll for this one. This is really, really interesting.
1 point, I can't remember what it was, percent South American.
On the Pacific side.
I'm not. It's in the connecting that
Central American area. There'll be the Pacific side. Yeah.
So that's all interesting, and look forward to trying to investigate
all of that.
All of that, yes, absolutely. But I think the first thing we're going to do is take a trip up to Northumbria, and have an explore.
You've got to have a look at York.
But I want to go to Ypres Castle and then just.
The Scandinavian thing percentage is interesting because it's probably Viking.
Possibly.
When you tie that with your English percentage, they would have invaded the north. I mean, they would have invaded Kent, the south, and everywhere. But there was a lot of raids back over the period of the Norsemen. So very interesting.
Yeah. So well, got to investigate now, haven't we? I mean, I know my aunt has done a family tree of the, I think it's the K side.
Yeah.
Then we just go back, but we have there was she's apparently a bearded lady in the family, which means circus people or
travellers,
freak show possibly. So that's all pretty interesting. So that's something to start thinking about. It's just time for me. To get to do these things. I haven't got the time working and all my other interests, but you know, I will find the time, I think.
Yeah, we've got the internet, so that always
Yeah,
helps.
we have, but I've just got a lot of...
It's nice to visit
But I think, I want to go and visit. By the time we do that trip, I'd have found some places that we could possibly go to.
Yeah.
Some churches, maybe for records and graveyards, and you know, all that stuff. So
there is a good book that I haven't read it, I must admit, but they normally produce some good books. Pen and Sword, the publishing company, have produced it's called Search Your Ancestors in Graveyards and Churches.
Yeah, well,
it's like a guidebook manual.
I think obviously that will take us back probably to the, I don't know, about 1700s. I'm not sure how far one can go back.
Well, on I found with the DNA My Heritage site that it's speculation. It's hard to confirm, but there are some old photographs of the Murphys. And the one I showed you looks just like one of my uncles, because there's a lot of them are quite dark. They look almost Latin.
Yeah, but then it would have people.
It's just how it was.
Yes,
Ireland was invaded quite a lot over its time. So yeah, but that only goes back as Victorian. But there are some records that go back to 18th century, so the 1700s.
Yeah, I think that would be an
absolute prize, wouldn't it, if you could find that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not finding anything at the moment coming through for me. All the matches of people are so... the percentages are tiny, so they're if they are, they're distant relatives. But
it's interesting.
Most of them are in America.
Yeah,
but nothing significant as such yet.
Not yet, but you just never know. It updates daily, doesn't it?
They've had another. I haven't even checked it today. There's a new thing come out today.
Yeah.
Did you get the?
Oh, I don't think I have.
Oh, okay, there's some.
But it would be for your DNA, not be different from mine.
Yeah. True. No, they've started a new thing. I've had to double check it. But
of course, they want money. This heritage.com, don't
they? They all do, though, and it's not cheap to sort your heritage, is it?
No, no. Because you're gonna need access to birth records.
And that opens. But I think if you could spend a year doing it, it'd be worth doing.
You could do it in a year if you had a year
time.
off.
Yeah.
Easily.
Don't think I can get a year off yet.
No, I don't think I can have a year off yet. But I had to pay some to get some of the records because I wanted to know what my ancestors do and where they come from. Because the problem was that everyone had the same first names, and then because of that, they all had nicknames, so you could differentiate to who or what you were talking to or about. So, but as a child, you would know your aunts and uncles by their nickname, not their real names, and that's where the difficulty's now coming along. You can't find out who they are. Well, you can, but it just makes it a bit more difficult.
Well, then that's more of a challenge, isn't it? And exciting when you do unearth something. And I mean, if there's a way of doing it free, maybe someone would like to comment, please.
But again, you can get some good books from Pen and Sword.
I'm sure there is actually. We're just doing it probably the easy option.
Question of pre-reading to do the research. But worth a mention. Changing the subject, isn't it? Is Disney Plus's Shogun.
Brilliant. I do like it, although I saw the other one with the Richard Chamberlain many years ago.
Right.
Can't compare them, but I think this one is brilliant. Cosmo Jarvis, fantastic acting in it.
Yeah.
Great voice.
It sounds like Richard Burton.
He does. I really like it. Just an insight into Japanese culture, if 100% true. But yeah, really entertaining.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, one of my favourite shows at the moment.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
We just started watching Renegade Nell, haven't we,
that's just a bit light-hearted for us, completely, fantasy. I'm not saying there wasn't Highway Women, but there's some other elements into it. Won't spoil it. That are, but easy watching.
Yeah, bit of fun.
We can just watch it and not have to think.
No.
But still some nice clothes, nice costumes.
Inspiring ideas. Have you got any more costumes coming on?
I have got some plans for the next couple of weeks, yes.
All right. Oh.
Yes, I want to make you a waistcoat.
Oh, thank you. That'd be nice.
Yes, I've got that fabric, and I want to make myself a frock coat.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, I've got some stuff. Although I'm going to take a trip down the scrap store tomorrow, and see what they've got. Yeah. Terrific. So the scrap store's a great place.
Yeah.
A lot of big cities have them, all small towns. You know, you pay a yearly subscription, and everybody who's got odds and ends of fabrics, whether it be individuals or companies, they just donate all sorts of crafting stuff, and you just can go in and take as much or as little as you want. You can just visit continuously, and I've actually got some great fabrics from there.
Yeah, keep an eye out, listeners, because you might see
made some great costumes. I mean, you know, all your shirts,
all my shirts, a lot of my jackets, frock coats,
all is reclaimed fabric.
Yes, all
it
upcycled.
Just saves it going to landfill, and you know, great ideas.
I mean, some of that was worn on Friday for the Heritage Centre opening. Yes. So keep an eye, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, at the Sussex Smuggler or Captain James Bollinger. If you see me or us, do grab a business card. But anyway, I digress. I've been making my way through. Well, I listened to his podcast, Tell Me a Story by Eddie Lenihan, but he's written some books. Defiant Women. When I finish the book, I should have finished it by now. I will do a review. And the first story is a terrific story about the band She, and well worth a read. That is. I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's a great little book. It comes in like a small size, but it's a hardcover. And then there's another story about the Cromwellian occupation. I'm just finishing off, but a great little book. So more on that coming up.
Yeah, he's a great storyteller. Or isn't he a Sanachi?
A Sanachi, yeah.
A Sanachi.
Yeah, well, that's well remembered. Sanachi, yeah. Good. I'm impressed. That's Gaelic for storyteller.
Yeah, he's such a fabulous bloke.
Brilliant. He's all hair, and there's no convention with him, is there? When he's just slurping his tea as he's recording the stories.
And he lives in a very modest little,
house with his dogs.
Yes.
He's a teacher, isn't he?
He was a teacher.
Or he was a teacher.
Yeah, he was a teacher.
He's actually an Irish treasure.
A national treasure for them. Yeah,
massive.
Yeah. And he's just so covered in dog hair. It's just so normal.
Yeah.
But
a Christian as well. He's practicing Christian.
Full of these wonderful stories, folklore, and of Ireland.
The Fae and all the rest of it, and some tips on what to don't touch blackthorn bushes.
Yeah, the fairy trees.
Fairy castles.
You've got to. You just got to respect the Fae, haven't you? That's the thing.
Some great stories.
But yeah.
So check him out. But yeah, that's pretty much all us done.
I can't think what else we've done over the last month. I'm sure we've done.
Well, we are going back to the Portsmouth Historic Dockyard, aren't we?
Yeah.
Over to the Gosport side to look at the subs.
Yes, we are.
The rest of it. So
we've got that. Yeah, a few bits.
That's it, really, isn't it? We don't know. Whatever grabs us, really, that comes along.
Yeah, so we got
probably go and see the Ghostbusters film as well at some point.
With you. No, that's just for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think that's probably it. Thanks for tuning in, listeners, and catch the next episode in about 4 weeks' time. So it's a goodbye from Miss Meadow.
Goodbye. Speak to you soon.
And a goodbye from me. Take care. Have a good one.
It's of the pretty female, as you may understand, a mind being bent on rambling unto some foreign land. She dressed herself in sailor's clothes, so it would appear, well, she's hired with a captain to serving for a year. The captain's wife, she's been on board, she seemed in great joy to find her husband had employed this handsome cabin boy. But now and again she'd blow him a kiss, she would have liked to have toyed, but it was the captain found out the secret of the handsome cabin boy. His cheeks, they were like roses, his hair was in a curl. The sailors often laughed and said, he looks just like a girl. Well, eating on the captain's biscuit, his colour did destroy, and the waist did swell of pretty Nell, the handsome cabin boy. Was in the Bay of Biscay, a gallant ship did plough. One night among the sailors was a fearful flurry and row. They stumbled from their hammocks, their sleep it was destroyed. Well, they cursed about the groaning of the handsome cabin boy. Oh, doctor, dearest doctor, the cabin boy did cry. My time is come, I am undone, well, I must surely die. The doctor came a-running, smiling at the fun, for to think a cabin boy could have a daughter or a son. The sailors, when they heard the news, they did just stand and stare. The child belonged to none of them, they solemnly did swear. The captain's wife, she turned to him, my dear, I wish you joy, for it's either you or I's destroyed the handsome cabin boy.